Deion talking about the quarterback situation at Colorado, Kaden Salter, Juju Lewis. Your thoughts on him not naming a starter as of right now?
Yeah, the statement that Deion Sanders provided, that he said, we brought both of them because I don't know which one's going to start. Okay, so that clarifies what he means by brought. Like they have both guys because they don't know which one's going to start. He went on to say, somebody asked for kind of a little bit of a clarification.
Yeah, I thought I was going crazy.
Long as they're doing their jobs and we're winning, he said yes to both quarterbacks playing this season. He said, we definitely want to continue to develop Juju, but Kaden is unbelievable, saying that both have been impressive. He wants to get a lot out of Juju Lewis. The way that I read into this, because they have somewhat similar skill sets, they're both really good runners. They're good at throwing on the run. They're pretty accurate in short areas. I think that this is reading it as he wants both guys to stay motivated. And then at the start of the season, he's going to heavily lean on Kaden Salter because we've seen Salter dominate. We've seen Salter make huge plays at the G5 level. The experience that Salter has is so valuable in this competition, and for him to start week one compared to a guy who reclassified in Juju Lewis, who I believe is still 17 years old. This isn't Ryan Williams, 17-year-old showing up and playing great. Playing the quarterback position as a 17-year-old is super, super hard. I think what's going to probably happen is they're going to bring him in some series, and it's still mostly going to be Kaden Salter. As a fan of a team that did the 2 QB thing multiple times, talking about Notre Dame, where Brian Kelly did it with Tommy Rees and Everett Golson, then he did it with Malik Zaire and Deshaun Kaiser. It doesn't work doing the bit. And I think Deion Sanders, and I believe Deion Sanders is smart enough to know that the bit of splitting, rotating series doesn't work with quarterbacks. You just can't get into a good, effective rhythm. He's just trying to keep guys motivated, keep them focused. And I think that Juju will get the chances to step on the field in spurts, and hopefully they keep his red shirt and he ends up developing as they're projecting.
This feels like a promise to me with Juju Lewis.
That's the other part.
Right. It feels like a promise that he made to the kid to get him on campus. Joe, look, Deion is a different breed of human being, especially a different breed of coach, right? He goes by his own drum. I'm not saying both of them are not going to play. It would be a disservice to Kaden Salter if he's not your dude. It would be a massive disservice. I understand what you probably promised Juju Lewis in recruiting, and maybe they play both of them. It is going to be interesting to see how quickly Deion starts flipping his box in reference to if Kaden Salter throws a pick, does he get benched? You know, I do think it will be interesting. Here's the thing. I do think Kaden Salter was the best quarterback in this year's portal, right? I thought a lot of SEC teams could have used him. I thought he should have gone to Auburn, but Hugh Freeze was out playing golf when he went in the portal. The bottom Hugh Freeze pond. Regardless of all of that, okay, I do like that Deion is not afraid to go out there and say, hey, man, I don't know who's starting, but, dude, I'm telling you right now, both of those guys can play in the NFL. And I don't mind that. Like, who says that you can only bring one kid from one position? Like, why? And you handle it well. You know, I think of the Joe. What was the bowl game that Ohio State and Texas played in? I forget which one they played in. Maybe it was in Texas. Maybe Cotton Bowl. Maybe I don't remember.
Cotton Bowl.
You remember when they did the meetings with all the players and everybody was talking to Arch and nobody was talking to Quinn Ewers, right? Sometimes as a quarterback, you got to have hey, man, listen, as a team, there's a lot of debate on who's starting. I'm bringing both of you. I'm sending a message. Now, Prime did go out there today and said, look at all you media on that bull jive. I mean, he likes saying that bull junk and that bull jive. Deion's going to go by the own beat of his own drum. And I don't know who's going to start. I think Kaden Salter's going to make some waves this year, and I think he's that talented to do it if you give him the opportunity.
Well, and I think of like another dual quarterback situation where with Michigan, Cade McNamara and JJ McCarthy, where it was undecided, younger guy, veteran player, both were key contributors the year prior. They were supposed to rotate until there was a decision. And then eventually JJ McCarthy clearly separated himself. The rest is history. They won a national title with JJ McCarthy. I could also see it being deployed like that. Like the first couple games, you're figuring it out. Maybe not purely rotating, but Juju Lewis is getting on the field and he's contributing. And then once there's kind of that clear indication of like, hey, Salter, who's a dynamic athlete, is going to set us up to succeed better because he's been a lot more experienced and he's seen a lot more live bullets. And last year, he's also been through a lot more adversity. And what Juju Lewis is, Liberty was put through the ringer last year with the fact they didn't have any weapons for Salter to throw to. Now he has that at Colorado. I think that we just got to be patient here. Let Juju Lewis get on the field some, play a little bit this year. Salter should be the primary guy. Promise or not, that should not impact things. Salter is the better player at the current moment, and it would be better for Colorado as a program for him to go to the NFL, get a shot if he plays to expectation, and then Juju Lewis takes over.
Arch Manning, hold on. Well, I just named one of them. Outside of Cade Klubnik, two of the top three quarterbacks that we're talking about all offseason have been Arch Manning and Garrett Nussmeier. Both of them sat behind guys that got drafted into the NFL. Both of them. Now, Garrett obviously behind Jaden and Arch behind Quinn Ewers. Both of them have come out and talked about at length how much they learned from watching those guys take live bullets. I mean, listen, Garrett talked about it at the Manning Passing Academy. He goes, bro, some of the shit that I would scratch my head on and ask why Jaden's doing, I'm like, okay, I'll get it. Makes sense. Hey, why do I keep going over cover three? This was basically the conversation he had. Why is he watching every form of cover three out of every situation, every formation, every situation with the VR thing and BR? Now I know, because it doesn't look the same. Joe, you can learn just as much as staying right behind a guy that's been there and has the skins on the wall. Hey, we're in meetings. Why? Hey, Coach asked Kaden Salter, why didn't you throw this here? Well, Coach, I mean, look what this safety is about to do. Just so many things you can learn. He's got the talent. He doesn't have the live bullet experience, and we'll see. And I don't mind Deion for doing that at all.